big chunk of investments are deployed in properties, lands, and real estate development across the kingdom. Our view, our vision, is to provide the best to maintain an optimal usage, giving the high standards of healthy and cost-effective environments for the occupants, and we look forward to this to spread the cognitive awareness of this culture, blah 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 blah, all the typical ones. But the actual or the main objective for an investment company is to preserve the wealth and make a good return on our investments. And the concept of FM is very crucial, and it's a gold mine in the Saudi market. Let's see why. Here are some of the important figures in the Saudi markets. The Saudi markets need an additional 973,000 housing units by 2015, and a total of 2.1 units over the coming decade. There are a significant discrepancy between supply and demand, and a shocking statistic that shows 70% of Saudis don't own their homes. Saudi Arabia FM sector is worth nearly 100 billion US dollars, while across the Gulf is 890 billion over the next, I would say, 25 years, according to the industry estimates. Growth in Saudi Arabia with the young and expanding population will increase and expected to change the giving the mortgage law that it's upcoming in the region. So that's another catalyst for the growth and the demand for the housing, the property investments, and FM accordingly. Given the massive government spending, the generous, unforeseeable expenditure and budget, 60 billion, I believe this is a typo, US dollar, so 60 billion sterling, over 100 billion US dollar to be invested in infrastructure for 2013, 100 billion US dollar. The estimated of projects in the field of, for instance, health sector, just to throw some numbers, is around 70 billion Saudi riyals. Education is over 200 billion riyals, an increase, a massive increase than the previous budget. This is some statistics across the GCC, where we estimated that the FM will contribute to over 80% of the property and the project value over the 25 years life cycle of the property. So eventually the number will be 892 billion US dollar. Saudi Arabia by itself is around 120 billion US dollar. Of course, the concept of FM is way lagging behind in Saudi. Definition is FM, unfortunately, is not established. The whole thing, the whole concept, what we're trying to promote, it's as my colleagues mentioned this morning, the FM starts from the designing phase until ongoing, until all the services surrounding the facility or the properties. You can see the board here from the energy, the operational, the waste management, security, etc., etc. This is along with the Saudi building codes, and I'm sure this is applicable also to GCC, but unfortunately this is still on papers, at least in Saudi. What are the challenges? Well, first, awareness. Awareness is really lacking behind. Unfortunately, I can hardly recall any FM company, service provider in Saudi. Maybe under 5, hardly, and they are in the mediocre level. Bridging the gap in awareness by outsourcing to professionals. This is one of the, or this is the typical way in running the FM requirements. The other issue we have is the skilled manpower. There's a huge lack of skilled and trained manpower for facility management. Unfortunately, the only training center we have, and it's a government entity, that's a technical and vocational training center institution. And the outcome only covers less than 1% of the market need. So that's why I'm saying that's a gold mine. Challenges, but a lot of opportunities in Saudi. Actually, we should be holding this meeting in Saudi, not here. The policies and procedures, the regulation by the ministries, there is no such a law in Saudi. There is really up to the facility management and the expectation or the concept of preserving the property, the green environment, the smart building. Not to be harsh on the system, it's still developing, but we are way behind when it comes to the massive investments and expenditure of the government, a generous budget we have. And that's all reflected in the cost. There's a huge cost in getting the proper FM, giving all the obstacles I have mentioned. And finally, the cultural limitation and the privacy. These are all challenges. Again, the market needs really a professional FM service providers. Accessing the Saudi market is not easy. Unfortunately, we will be struck with all the rules, regulations that most of them doesn't make sense. However, we're getting there, and as every investor has to thrive to have an access or a foot in the market, and it's paying off. It's lucrative at the end. Thank you very much, and I'm ready for any question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yasser.